Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this January the 21st, 2024. I'm hoping everybody had a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Sunday evening, well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the satellite imagery across the United States here. We're going to be talking about these little systems moving across the this little system here is going to be kind of moving off into the moving northeast. May interact with this little piece of system here later on down the road. We're expecting a warm front to lift north, and we may be in the southeastern portion of the United States, maybe getting walloped by a lot of rainfall toward the end of the week. Some may get up to maybe close to 3 inches of rainfall somewhere across portion of the southeastern United States. We'll talk about that in later videos, but not tonight. Also, we're going to talk about your forecast charts. We're going to be talking about your forecast for Monday and your Tuesday. Also, we're going to take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map across the nation as well. As you can see here, we got a winter storm raging in the central portion of the United States, from Texas all the way into a portion of southern Michigan and also into Illinois and Indiana. Another winter storm up here kind of grazing the Canadian-U.S. border up here in northern Washington and Montana. Also over in the South Dakota as well. Got some sporadic, I couldn't get the word out, sporadic watches and warning and advisories over these areas here from California into Nevada. We'll discuss that. And also we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Also we'll get to that. It should be down across Texas. We'll go through the steps. And also we're going to take a look at the CIPS analog as well. We're going to be taking a look at day 4 through 7. As we do have some severe weather across portions of the southeast according to the CIPS analog. Alright, well, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. Love to have you. Also like these videos, share these videos on social media, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road, and let's dive on into the forecast. Alright, as you can see here, we got a little system here in the Gulf of Mexico, also over here in Texas. These here may combine later on. They could be bringing some scattered showers starting on Tuesday across the Carolinas and Georgia, and across the southeast, maybe down here along the Gulf Coast Monday. And then into Tuesday and Wednesday, these little impulses, as you can see back over in the western portion of the United States, will continue to race on off to the east. And we got a storm system that's going to be developing in the middle portion of the country, going to lift up to toward the Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley, bringing a cold front later on towards the end of the forecast period, which will kind of move into the southeast and kind of just stall across the southeast United States, which is going to bring a chance of rain starting Tuesday, lingering all the way into next Sunday. So get ready, folks, across the southeast. We're going to have a lot of chances of rain each day starting on your Monday across the Gulf Coast, and then spread into the north and east. We're going to have a winter storm. A lot of these winter storms now are going to take a cut right. It's going to be more of a zonal flow across much of the United States, and that's why you're seeing on my 8 to 14 day temperature outlook I showed last night. As you can see, much of the United States, and you can see it's toward the end of the video, so go back and check it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about in the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Alright, you see a lot of this system over here in the Pacific Ocean. This will continue to come crashing in to areas of the west coast and continue to march eastward as well. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast for your Monday. Alright, as you can see here, we got a big area of snow up here, just about all of Canada, and also down in the portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, down in the New York State. We have a big area right here of freezing rain, mixed precipitation, extending from up here in portion of western New York through Pennsylvania, through Ohio, down to Tennessee, Arkansas, all the way back to Oklahoma, Kansas, back up to Iowa, and also southern Wisconsin, and also into Michigan. Snow across northern Michigan there, and also northern Wisconsin up into northeast Minnesota. We have a little patch of snow up here across the Canadian area, right extending down into portion of Montana and North Dakota. We have more mixed precipitation over here in southwestern Canada with some rain showers along coastal areas. But the mixed precipitation extends up here near Vancouver, Canada, through Washington State, through Oregon, down through portion of California, Nevada. A little bit of freezing rain also over here in portion of Washington State as well. Alright, we got shower activity, like I said, extending from southwestern Canada, right on coastal areas of Washington, Oregon, and California, down in Arizona, and also northern Mexico, West Texas. We got thunderstorms and showers in the areas of southwest California, the Pacific Ocean, down into the Gulf of California, northwest Mexico. Same in northeastern Mexico, much of Texas, all the way as far east as Mississippi and Alabama, down into the areas of the Gulf of Mexico. We have possible in Texas, also in Louisiana. We have a few pockets of maybe some heavy snow also in portions of Oregon State as well, and a little bit in the mountain range of California, southern South Carolina, and into the coastal water and east coast of Florida. Elsewhere, high pressures in charge are pretty much through portion of northern Michigan, well, like I say, Wisconsin, also back into the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, down in the portion of North Texas, eastern New Mexico, portion of west coast of Florida, the Bahamas, also the Florida Keys, Cuba, Jamaica, and the Yucatan Peninsula, extending through Georgia and Alabama, all the way up into Maine, New Brunswick, and also into Newfoundland. All of it. Alright, now as we roll forward into Tuesday, you see the snow kind of tapers off in much of Canada. It kind of dives a little bit south into southeastern Canada, extending over into Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, also in the coastal waters there through northern New York, also back into northern portion of Michigan and northeastern Wisconsin. Alright, we got mixed precipitation, also some freezing rain, also extending from Rhode Island, Connecticut, all the way into Pennsylvania, New York, back into the Great Lakes region, also Michigan, Wisconsin, extending all the way back into Nebraska and Kansas and a portion of Oklahoma. Also Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and also northern Kentucky and southern Ohio, getting some mixed precipitation there. A little bit of freezing rain maybe in northern Illinois there also. We have mixed precipitation over here in portion of the portion of Panhandle of Texas through New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, back up into Idaho, portion of southwest Canada, portion of Montana, Washington, Oregon State, Northern California as well. Alright, we got shower activity over southwestern Canada through Washington, Oregon State, Northern California, a little bit down into Southern California, also into Arizona, back through portion of northern Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, back up to Illinois, Indiana, through Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, all the way up toward Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, all the way out toward Rhode Island as well. Thunderstorms and showers down here, portion of the Gulf of Mexico, back over toward Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, down in northern Mexico as well. Some heavy rain and flash flooding possible over Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and the east coast of Texas. Otherwise, dry high pressure in charge of portion of north and central Mexico toward the Yucatan Peninsula, also in Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, portion of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, portion of Virginia, Maine, New Brunswick, also in the Newfoundland, southwest, southeast, south portion of southwestern Canada, also through Minnesota to the Dakotas, Nebraska, Colorado, back in Wyoming, Montana, also portion of Washington, Oregon State, Nevada, and portion of California and the Gulf of California as well. Should remain dry for your Tuesday, January 23rd. Alright, now we're going to move on to the watching warning advisory map. I pretty much explained most of it. Like I said, got winter storm in the winter storm warning in the pink here over portion of Oklahoma. Ice storm warnings there in portion of Arkansas. Winter weather advisory, like I said, extended from Michigan all the way through Indiana, Illinois, also portion of much of Missouri, down into Arkansas, back into North Texas, also into portion of Oklahoma, Kansas. Also, we got winter weather advisories also for portion of Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, back into Oregon. We have sporadic areas of winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings over Utah, Nevada, Utah, southern Nevada, also Arizona, portion of New Mexico, also the mountain range of California. Also, we have some some freeze warnings in effect for areas of southern Georgia, northern Florida, with a few frost advisories there as well. Hydro issues over southern Louisiana, wind advisory on coastal areas. Same over here in portion of, we have hydro issues and wind advisories over portion of Oregon and also northern California. Flood watches there as well. Flood warnings there also. Wind advisory stretching all the way down to southern California with some flood watches to the south. We have some special weather statements for you guys in upstate South Carolina, western North Carolina, portion of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, also up into Minnesota and northern portions of North Dakota. We have small craft advisory, storm warning extended from Washington State down to southern California, from east coast of Texas all the way to southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. Same for west coast of Florida to the Florida Keys, east coast of Florida, and a little bit up in toward Maine, down towards the Washington, D.C. area as well. River flood warnings still continue for portions of eastern North Carolina, eastern South Carolina, and a little bit up toward the New York City area. Along the Hawaiian Chain Island, got some small craft advisory with some flood watches there as well. Also, we have some around the coastal Alaska area, still got the small craft advisory, storm warnings there, and also some freezing spray warnings. Also around the island, special weather statements for the south areas as well. Also, this area right here, you can see some freezing fog possible over North Texas as well. All right, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. All right, you can see here we just got general thunderstorm pretty much for your, this is for tonight. You can see here right along coastal areas of California, southern areas of Arizona, and much of Texas as well. Let's move on to your Monday outlook. Okay, as you can see, we still got general thunderstorm from southern central California. Well, let me start all over again. For coastal areas and central areas of central California down to southern California, southern and southwestern areas of Arizona, also much of Texas and Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. These are just general thunderstorms for that region in the green. All right, now let's take a look at your Tuesday forecast. I was talking about that. We have a marginal risk highlighted down in southern Texas. Alright, you can see here we have general thunderstorms over portions of Arizona, southwestern areas of New Mexico, much of Texas, all the way far east is Mississippi, Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida, including Louisiana, Arkansas, southeastern areas of Oklahoma, and also we have much of Texas. Here's that marginal risk I was talking about across southeast Texas. If you live in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus Christi, and Pasadena, Texas, marginal risk for severe weather, and the probability will be there 5% for the same areas I just called out from Houston, Texas to Pasadena, Texas. Alright, now let's take a look at these CIPS analog for severe weather. This is for day 4. We'll start on the 25th, which is Thursday. As you can see here, we have a 10% in the yellow. We have a 15% chance for severe weather over East Texas, Louisiana, portion of Mississippi, and also southern portion of Arkansas for severe weather on the 25th. All right, let's take a look at day number 5. As you can see, we got a 10% risk from East Texas. Far west is Georgia, portion of South Carolina, also the Panhandle of Florida, including, like I said, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. We have a 15% there as well in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and portions of Georgia. We have a 15% risk for severe weather for January 26th. All right, let's move on to day number 6. This is next Saturday forecast. As you can see here, we got a 10% risk in the yellow, and also a 15% over portion of East Texas, Also Louisiana, pretty much same areas, even with the 10%, and this includes Mississippi as well. And like I said, a little bit of Arkansas as well. All right, and finally we're going to wrap it up with day number 7. As you can see here, we got about 10% chance of severe weather reported for the Panhandle of Texas. Florida, excuse me. I was in the Alabama and Georgia. This is only like a 10% chance for severe weather probability across this region. This would be for day number 7, which would be January the 28th, which is next Sunday. So, all right, we'll see what the Storm Prediction Center put in on their forecast on these outlooks. So we'll see what they show. But anyway, hope everybody enjoyed the weather, because the only weather you got. Hope you like these videos. Share these videos on social media. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening, folks. Take care.